been about a week since the news came out about the Twins ownership U-turn, and we deliberately left it alone last time around, but I do feel like it's worth digging in. Basically, our plan for this episode is we're going to catch up with every acquisition the Twins made at the trade deadline and ask, how are they settling in? Are there any notable stories, notable performances, notably bad performances, anything of interest, really? So we're going to go trade by trade, blow by blow, and talk about all those guys and how they're doing. But there are some news and notes for us to dig into first, not least of which is the Pohlads decision to do a U-turn and say they are no longer selling the team, but taking on additional limited partnerships. We don't know all of the details there yet, other than supposedly this is going to clear the 400-ish million in debt that they have on the team. Your reaction to this news, I guess, number one, and then number two, how do you think, or what implications does this have from your perspective in 2026 and beyond?
So my reaction, and I wish I would have went back and listened to what I had to say when the news originally came out that they were going to sell, because I feel like
I know what you said.
What did I say?
I mean, I paraphrase, but the gist was I'll believe it when I see it.
That's exactly how I felt. Like I felt.
Yeah.
So the the whole thing just smelt funny from the get go, right? We want to sell the team because we don't have any money because the debt, but we still want to run the team.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing was awful. And then the report comes out where, oh, there's a lot of people interested. And then I was never really felt like that was true either. And so then there was the Ishbia that was allegedly very interested.
The Ishbia.
And then he did his thing with the White Sox. And then it was like crickets forever.
Yeah.
And so when I got the release and read it, I was like, that's like the worst news. And the thing that just it kind of still sets poorly with me is we still know who these other people are.
Yeah.
So basically they're just anonymous people that gave a group of people that are not real great at running a business a get out of jail free card, and now they can get back to running their business exactly how they did previously, which put them in $420 million of debt. That's not like good practice. So how is this going to impact the team? Well, the Twins are going to trade Joe Ryan in the offseason.
I don't agree with that. I think it's much more likely they trade Pablo Lopez.
See, I don't think they will. I think they'll keep Pablo. I think they'll keep Buxton. I think they'll trade Joe Ryan, and they'll play on the cheap. They're going to be like the Midwest version of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
That's fine, but if you're playing on the cheap, why are you trading a guy who's going to make $6 million as opposed to a guy who's making 23?
Because I think with Pablo's injury, it's just going to be a little bit harder. I'm sure they'll listen. I just think they can get more for Joe Ryan.
Yeah, but hold on. But just to play devil's advocate here for a second, the picture you painted was Pittsburgh Pirates West, right? Where the I was like trying to figure out my directions. Where like the bottom line is running efficiently, and by that we mean cheaply. We don't really mean efficiently.
Right.
The Brewers run efficiently. So surely then it makes sense to hold your starting pitcher who's a top 10 pitcher in the American League, keep him for all of 2026. You could still conceivably trade him in the 2026 offseason with one full year of control in the winter meetings. Assuming Pablo gets 5 or 6 starts down the stretch here, he proves to everyone that he's healthy and that he can work back to like 6 innings of 2-run balls, 6 Ks, whatever he normally does. Surely that seems like the move if you're going to be mimicking an organization like the Pirates, which I'm not saying they're trying to do, or like, you know, they're operating like Tampa Bay, which is like on a shoestring budget and relying on drafting and development and all that good stuff.